Today we're going to make one of my kids' favorite meals. Are you ready? Hey everyone, it's Dora from flippinghouses.and-pancakes.com, and we are back here in my kitchen this morning and we are going to make a delicious classic meatloaf. My kids love this. Actually, when they were little, I didn't make meatloaf. As they got older, I started to make it and it was like, oh my gosh, this is the world's most amazing dish. Who knew? So I'm going to teach you guys how to make my meatloaf recipe. It is a Friday morning. I've got all kinds of things cooking in the kitchen for Shabbos, but we're going to make meatloaf because we're going to be eating meatloaf tomorrow morning. It's supposed to be crazy hot here. So we're going to have a nice cold dish. You can serve this warm, by the way. It's amazing straight out of the oven too. So let's get started. I actually got started and then thought, maybe you guys want to learn how to do this. So I just stopped myself and set up for video. So let's start cooking. Okay, I've got 2 pounds of ground beef in here and 1 finely chopped up medium-sized onion. Now, if you want a smaller meatloaf, cut the recipe in half. If you need more, double it, okay? But this will make enough to feed probably about 8 people. We have 7 people in our house, and it's gonna feed everybody. So this is gonna serve 6 to 8 people, depending on their size and how much they really, really like meatloaf. All right, let's go. So we've got 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 medium-sized onion chopped up very finely. Ready? We're gonna put in 2 eggs, just like that. I've already gotten them ready. And now, see, this is a really simple recipe. You guys can make this. This is not gonna be hard. Got 1/2 cup of plain breadcrumbs here. So we're gonna add the breadcrumbs. If you don't have breadcrumbs and you have matzah meal, you can use that too. So keep that in mind if it's Pesach and Passover and you need a meatloaf recipe. Switch it to matzah meal if you eat matzah meal on Pesach and you'll be fine. Okay, so we've got 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. We're gonna put in 1/3 cup of ketchup. Guys, the ketchup's important, so don't leave it out. 1/3 cup of ketchup, just like that. Okay. And that was it. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna season it. By the way, if you are gluten-free, then you can definitely go ahead and get my cookbook, Flipping Houses and Pancakes, because in that cookbook, there's an amazing gluten-free recipe. So if you wanted to use rice, that's right, if you want to use rice instead of your matzah meal or instead of your breadcrumbs, that's another really good option. Okay, so we're gonna put a tablespoon of dried parsley right into our bowl. This is a great dish to make. Stays really nicely in the fridge, freezes really beautifully. Guys, it's totally worth it. Definitely try this. And your kids will love it if you have kids. They're gonna love this. And the grown-ups will like it too. 1/2 tablespoon of salt. Okay. We're gonna put 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. You can use white pepper if you want, but I just don't usually do that. I always have black pepper with me. And a teaspoon of garlic powder. So we had, to repeat, we had 2 pounds of ground beef. We had, let's see, what was this? 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. I need to tell you before I forget. 2 pounds of ground beef, 1 medium onion chopped. Then we put 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs, 1/3 cup of ketchup, a tablespoon, something just fell in the other room, a tablespoon of dried parsley, 1/2 tablespoon of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. That's all the ingredients that are gonna go inside the meatloaf. And let's get it mixed up. I don't like getting under my fingernails, so I'm gonna use gloves for this part. And we are just gonna mix and mix and mix. Now you don't wanna actually overmix your meatloaf because it can become a little tough. So kind of folding sometimes is a better way to get everything mixed together. Think about like when you're folding a dough. Okay, I'm gonna get this all folded up. until it looks pretty consistent all the way through. Don't worry if there's little lumps from the onion. I'm telling you, the flavor is gonna be outstanding. Outstanding, look at this. Okay, there we go. And that's what we're looking for, like a nice mixture of the spices, the onion, the egg, and the meat. We're gonna put it all into a baking pan. And I have one right here. I'm gonna slide it over. I'll just tell you a fun story about this baking pan while I kind of put this in and shape it. And you can put this into loaf pans too if you want. But I usually bake my meatloaf in this pan. I found this pan in a house that we were flipping, still like closed up in a box with a label, never used. How exciting is that? So exciting. Gorgeous pan, gorgeous pan. I love it. I'm gonna shape my meatloaf kind of shaped like my pan here, leaving the edges kind of open so that it has room. All right, I've got my meatloaf shaped here. Now some people will put like potatoes to roast on the side. That's in my gluten-free recipe in my cookbook. It makes potatoes at the same time as meatloaf. But this one I usually just bake by itself. All right, now I'm gonna take the gloves off and we're gonna make the topping. Now it's time to make the topping that we're gonna put right on top of the meatloaf. Everybody needs that nice red, you know what I'm talking about, the coating on the meatloaf. That's what we're doing right now. So we're gonna take another 1/3 cup of ketchup. I'll move this over so you can see what I'm doing. Another 1/3 cup of ketchup. Okay. If you want to think about that as being part of the sweet, although ketchup's a little on the tangy side. Okay, but we're going to improve it. So we've got a 1/3 cup of ketchup. Now we're going to take 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and I don't know why I kept this in the bag, but it's down here in the bag. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. It's a good thing I just bought more, right? Because it looks like I'm almost out. There we go. 1/3 cup of ketchup, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Okay, we're gonna put 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. We need the sweet, we need the tangy. Okay, and we're gonna add just a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika. That nice color and pop, a little bit of flavor. All right, so I'm just gonna use my teaspoon here and we're gonna mix it up until it's nice and smooth. Stir it, stir it, stir it. Okay, and then we're gonna gently spoon it over our meatloaf. We're gonna spread it out. Now if you want, you can make like a slight indent in the top of your meatloaf so that it kind of traps the sauce a little better. You can definitely do that. We're just gonna spread that out over the meatloaf. This is gonna be so tasty, you guys. That was it. We're pretty much done. The only other thing we need to do is pop it in a 400-degree oven and bake it until it's fully cooked. I like to stab it with a thermometer, make sure it's fully cooked. You can also cut into it if you really wanted to, or it needs a good 1/2 hour. So you can try that also. We'll come back when it's all cooked and ready to go. Okay, the meatloaf is out of the oven. It looks and smells delicious. It actually took about 40 minutes for it to become ready. And it's got kind of crispy on the outside. Really, really good. You can see, I'll show you a close-up so you can see that like it needed that space around it to kind of release some liquid and things like that. And you'll see what I mean. So delicious. Okay, here's a close-up of the meatloaf. You can see it kind of oozed out a little bit. That's fine. Don't worry about that. That's perfect. That's why we gave the meatloaf a little bit of room, but you can see it became nice and crispy. And I'm telling you that this doesn't look pretty, but it is going to taste so delicious. Guys, you have to make this at home. If you're using a thermometer to check if it's ready, you need to hit about 155, 160 at least on the inside for it to be well done with ground beef. If it goes a little over that, it's going to be okay. This one's not going to dry out like some meatloafs will. So you're gonna be all right, and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about overcooking. If you enjoyed this video, then go ahead, hit subscribe, tap the bell for notifications so you find out every time I upload a new video. And as always, check out my website, flippinghousesandpancakes.com.